What's going on, everybody? It's a beautiful, kind of snowy morning. Figured I'd take a walk and we'll talk about YSL Y EDP. Been meaning to do a review on it, and today we're going to do that. So stay tuned. So I actually don't have a full presentation to go over the bottle with you guys. I do just have my 10 ml decant that is running quite low. I've worn it several times. I'm definitely getting to the point to where I'm going to need a bottle, so we can't go over presentation, but just know that I do plan on getting it sooner rather than later. So let's just jump up into the scent. So it's classified here, released here, notes right there. So what do I get from it? So in the opening, I definitely get quite a bit of the apple. I get a lot of geranium, juniper, and sage. It's definitely got a lot of sage going for it. It's quite a grabbing type of open. I find that even from the very first time I sprayed it, it just grabbed me. It's got a very high compliment factor. People enjoy it. It's a very loud fragrance, which we'll get into that in a little bit. And for, you know, I'm not a real big fan of heavy geranium fragrances. It works in certain fragrances for me. And in this one, I feel like it's just blended well enough to where it's a supporting player that's detectable, but not too much in the forefront. And then the amberwood that's in this one is just right, where it doesn't smell overly synthetic. Of course, by no means YSL Y EDP smells like a natural fragrance. I don't feel like the tonka bean is overdone in the dry down as well. It's another one that's just a nice supporting player where it's not overly sweet, not overly powdery or anything like that, like tonka bean tends to do. It's actually blended quite well. I love the way this one smells, and the scent on this one, for me, it's going to get an 8 out of 10. Now in longevity, every time I wear this, I'm thinking 6-7 hours, maybe 8, and it's going to fade. It makes it to around 10 hours every time I wear it. This stuff is very, very long lasting. Beast mode longevity for sure. Now, I don't know if newer bottles have the same performance. I would assume they do. This is a little over a year old, this decant. I'm not sure what batch the bottle is, because everybody's going to ask me, oh, it's reformulated, blah, 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 blah. I hear that all the time in the comments. Well, as far as I know, it is what it is. And this stuff is very, very long lasting. And 10 hours is going to get you a 9 out of 10 in my rating system. Now, projection. This is where it's quite surprising. So you don't think it's going to be as loud as it ends up being. This stuff not fills a room, but it kind of comes close to it on my skin. It's quite loud. It's one of the louder fragrances I own. Definitely one of the louder blue fragrances that I own. Sorry about the loud truck passing by. And it's one of those that the scent bubble never really gets that mild. It stays at the least moderate within a few feet. I mean, I was having lunch with my in-laws yesterday, and I had been wearing it for 7 or 8 hours. And sitting across the table, my mother-in-law said, wow, you smell really good. She was every bit of 4 feet away from me. And we're talking 6-7 hours in. This stuff has fantastic projection. And for that, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 in projection. Overall, YSL Y EDP from Yves Saint Laurent is absolutely an 8.5 out of 10 fragrance, in my opinion. This stuff is great. The compliment factor is very high on it. The performance is stellar. It doesn't smell like all the other blue fragrances. It smells like an original DNA. This may be the best blue fragrance to get, in my opinion. It might be the most versatile from a seasonal standpoint, from a situational standpoint. It just works. YSL really did a great job with this one. The Eau de Parfum has the performance that the EDT was lacking. I have not checked out YSL Y live. Eventually I will. I've heard that's a very good fragrance as well. But for the time being, I gotta say, YSL Y EDP is pretty much a must-have. If you like blue fragrances, this is a must-have blue fragrance. And that's what I have to say about YSL Y EDP. I thank you for stopping by and taking a walk with me. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of you already have it? How many of you thoroughly enjoy it and completely agree with everything I said? Some of you aren't going to. I get that. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on YSL Y EDP, give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.